Hello, my name is John Thorne from Thorny Motorsport, and this is episode 3 in our little series of videos about trying to buy a 720. Now, this is a video of good or bad. If you remember the episode 1, it was us trying to buy one and having no end of problems trying to find a good one that didn't need lots of amounts of work. Then episode 2 was an owner of the car that we rejected, basically bring it to us with lots of problems. Which we identified when we looked at the car, and also he suddenly bought the car and now has the problems with the car himself, and some responses from the dealer. And now episode 3, which is a bit of a tale of two halves really. If you remember, the whole idea of this series was us to buy a car for ourselves. Now the idea really was that we sold this is our 720 here, that we sold about 2.5 years ago to pay for our car park to be tarmacked of all things. And because it was the right thing to do for the business. And now we're looking to buy a 720 again. We have lots of R&D work to be done in terms of mapping and stuff that we've been doing. And it was time to buy another one. I found our old car for sale and immediately thought, great, have that back straight away. What a lovely story, buy our car back. We subsequently did a nice little video unloading it, and we brought it in here, and then we realised that it needed a lot of work to be done because of how it had been stored, primarily with shock absorbers leaking and batteries failing and a variety of other problems. So we subsequently couldn't buy it ourselves because it was beyond our budget with the work it needed. So we went to buy another one, which we couldn't find because of the problems. So this is episode 3, where the good news is, as regards the car that we rejected, that somebody else subsequently purchased and had the problems that we identified, I'm happy to report that the dealer, who again I'm not going to name, has come through and has agreed, in combination with their warranty I would assume, to cover the costs of the repairs that we identified in our road test. So that's good news. So this owner of this black 720 that I went to look at and I rejected because of the problems, is now having the problems I identified fixed by the supplying dealer with their apologies. Very good. Give them credit for that. They could have walked away, but they didn't, and they've actually helped out. Yeah, this guy pays. So he's got nearly £10,000 worth of work to get the car rectified to a point of being a great 720, and I'm pleased for him in terms of the process. I'm pleased the dealer stepped forward, done the right thing. So that's part of this episode. So just let you know, the universe has been balanced out. This guy now gets his 720 with the problems resolved. It shouldn't have come to this, but it has, and therefore no point crying over spilt milk. We're going to fix it, get it sorted for him, and he'll have a lovely 720, albeit a £10,000 bill to somebody else, not to him. However, the original plan of this video was for us to buy our gold 720 back. As you can see, here it is. And as you can also see, it's not quite together. So what happened was that we couldn't afford the car because it needed so much work to get done. So we subsequently did the work on the car and we sold it to someone else. Which is under seller return. So the original owner we bought it from, we only work on seller return or consignment sales, as you say in the US. So I couldn't afford to buy the car commercially. I said to the owner, okay, I'll sell it for you with the work done. And we had it advertised for sale for £165,000, which included the £15,000, £18,000 of work we needed to do to get it sold. It was advertised for sale for £150,000. He was happy, everyone's happy, sold the car, all great. Now, how seller return works, and I may well do another video about this to explain it, is that we are responsible for the car whilst it's here, but we don't own it. We sell it on behalf of the owner. And how it works is that the owner provides the car, we then investigate it, do the work. When it's agreed to be sold, we then do the work for the customer, and then we sell the car to the new customer with all the work done with our warranty. Now, two crucial things about this is that for the person buying the car, they need to buy it from us, to give them the commercial insurance and the Sale of Goods Returns Act. All the legislation UK covers a new owner to buy that car from us as a commercial operation. So any seller return operation where you've got you buying the car direct from the seller privately and they're just acting as intermediary is not seller return. All right, you're not buying the car from them, you're buying it privately. And as a lot of people in the UK will know, the legislation protection for buying a car privately is near enough to zero. Okay, so the idea of seller returns, you're buying it from me, from Thorny Limited, with our corporate structure and our warranty and everything else that's there, and your seller goods protection. That is what we do. Now, as part of that process, especially when a car has finance on it. There's a situation we have to pass what's good title. So you can't buy the car from me unless I have paid off the previous car's finance and bought the car from the other owner. So owned by us, very briefly owned by us, the process. This particular car had 140 odd thousand pounds of finance on it, which is why we couldn't afford to buy it. So we sold the car for 165,000 to the new owner. So we did what I usually do is before delivery to the new owner, we pay off the existing finance from the previous owner, have confirmation of that. We pay the other the owner the money that he wants for the car, or in this case was zero because of the work we did to it, which we took. And then we can pass good title to the new owner. What happened with our car was that on the Thursday, I believe it was, I paid off the £142,000 finance on the car. We'd already done about £18,000 worth of work on the car. So we were ready to go with the new owner. New owner had given us a £25,000 deposit, which is more than we normally accept, but it's refundable anyway. And it was due for collection the following week on Wednesday, Thursday, after the valet had been in to give it a machine polish. Normally when I supply any kind of car, the last road test is quite a long road test, a good half an hour to make sure it's perfect, no rattles and squeaks, no issues that I want to hand the car to the new owner. And I was on one of those road tests on a Saturday, trying to make sure the car's okay. As I'm going along the road, I have what we euphemistically call the McLaren flash of death on the screen. Now, anyone who's had a complete CAN bus failure on a McLaren, which is normally caused by an earth strap failing, you get a flash on the screen and it deads straight away, nothing at all. The car will literally coast to a halt, lock you in, windows won't open and you're stuck. And it's happened to me once before. I actually managed to block in an ambulance car park when I beached this 12C. I managed to cruise it off the road and block someone's car park for 4 hours whilst they recovered me. It cannot move. Handbrake, seized, nothing moves. So we call it the flash of death. I'm driving on the road and I get the flash on the screen on the 720 and I immediately think, crap, flash of death, and I pull it into a car park because you get 10, 30, 20 seconds to pull it in before it shuts down. Pull it into the car park, turn the car off, and I think, oh, okay. Trying to start it again, wouldn't start. Okay, now slightly different this one. Normally the flash of death, you'll get the no lights at all, it's completely dead. What I had was all the lights are working, there was power to the dash, but nothing was turning over at all. Which comes to the second thing sometimes happens on these cars, is the starter motor seizes. Now, and that is a good example. So driving normally, no problems at all. You'll park it, try and start it, 10 minutes later, it just won't start, nothing at all. And the starter motor was just seized. And I immediately thought, that's what's happened to this one. Not a big deal. Okay, starter motor's £1,000, but it's only, I don't know, half hour to fit it. So I called the guys up in the workshop and said, look, I'm stuck in a car park. Come and bring me another starter motor. Let's swap it out in the car park. Now, I wouldn't normally try and fix a McLaren in a car park outside of B&M in the UK, but you know what, needs must. Once I get going again, I thought, you know what, come with a van and trailer anyway, just in case, but bring a starter motor, we'll chuck it in. So we did that. So we fixed it there, and it was all quite funny, fixing a car in the middle of a car park. But put the new starter motor on, still wouldn't work. Still no fire up at all. It's still got all power, everything works, but no power at all. But no starting. So we recover the car back. I put it on the ramp straight away. The car was due to be collected by the new owner on the Wednesday that week, remember? And I realised it was probably quite a serious amount of work. So I call him up and I say, I'm really sorry. There's no way I can supply this car to you now. I don't know what's wrong with it. It could be £10,000 of work. We thought maybe the gearbox is seized or something had gone. So I refunded him his £25,000 and he's now bought another car somewhere else. So good luck to him. Bad luck for me. Because at that point in time, I'd paid the finance off and I was then technically the owner of the car at about £160,000, so £65,000 I didn't really want to have, but tough luck. Now I'm going through detailed seller return here because this is what we do. We will clear the finance before you collect the car. You'll have confirmation of that. So a well-known dealer in the UK who's gone bankrupt recently, I won't mention the name, but everyone knows who it is. And they have been responsible for keeping money back from finance payments, it seems. So in my word, that's theft, but not what we do. But in this example, we're stuck with it. We've paid the finance off. I can't exactly go back to the original owner and say, look, give me the money back on your finance. Your car's found, it was in my possession. It's my fault, my responsibility. I will take it on the chin. So here we are now. So we're here with our car. And I'm happy and also not happy to confirm. We've now identified it, fixed it. It's going back together again now. And it was the alternator that failed. Okay, seized solid. Now, I've never seen an alternator completely seized on a McLaren before. We thought it was a starter motor, but the alternator itself had seized. So whilst the car was running, it was enough to keep it going. But once I stopped it, the starter motor wasn't enough to get the alternator moving. The problem being, as I try and start the car, the starter motor's trying to work against it, so we burnt out 2 starter motors, the original one with the car and the one we put on we thought was there. So I'm down about £3,500–4,000 worth of parts on this car now, and we're somewhat lamenting it. But we've now changed the starter motor. We've also changed the oil pump and the water pump, which we just weren't comfortable with that kind of process with it. So I'm down a reasonably large sum of money of it now, but now it's my car. It's our car. Now we've got no choice to fix it. So I suppose this episode is really say we've got our 720 now. We found one. It wasn't really the journey I wanted to have, but it's nice to have our own car back. I loved this car when we owned it, and whilst it's a bit of a drawn out process to get it back into our ownership, at least it explains how we would do it with sale or return. You know, tough luck in a day. Would I want to plan on paying out finance on a car and then suddenly owning it 2 days later? No, not really. But the guy who we bought the car from, he's happy, we've paid his finance off, and he's frankly dodged a bullet. And the guy who was buying the car, you know, bottom line, I can't hand a car over knowing it's another £5,000, £6,000, £10,000 of work. So he bought a car somewhere else, we funded his money in full. So we're here now. So it's just nice to have a story getting our car back. We now own a 720 again, and we've got lots of plans for this, which I'll go through in other videos. But I thought I'd end our series of McLaren ownership 720. The how hard is it to buy a 720 was saying it's really hard is the answer, but we've got one now. And I'm delighted we did it in the right way. And whilst I don't like spending the money I did do, I'm happy with how we acted. So the owner of the black 720 rejected, being made good. Okay, he's being sorted out, a lovely car. The guy who we bought this from got his finance paid off. He's happy, Larry, you know, dodged a bullet. The guy we were going to sell it to, happy. He's got on a 720 somewhere else, I believe. And I'm happy because in all lot, this is fate for me. Okay, this may have cost me more than I wanted to, but this is a great car that we bought and had 2 years worth. We loads of R&D work on it before with mapping and stuff, and now we're carrying on that with new maps. We're releasing on a 720 now. I'm pleased to get it back. I think I've overpaid by 20 grand for it with the work, but at least it's back in. That's a nice story for us. So there'll be another series of videos coming on about the 720 and the next things we're doing for it now. All right. So any comments, questions as usual, you know, happy to go through it all, but thank you for watching and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.